So hi everybody. Okay, I was watching Nazo Eze's video and I thought as a parent that as children that are a little bit older than our children. So our firstborn, who is a boy, he just turned 13, and our secondborn, who is a girl, is 11 years old, and then she has three other children. And I thought about what she was saying. She did a video. I'm gonna put the video link in the comment area. She did a video where she was talking about letting her kids go out on their own and a fear about doing that, you know, about people kidnappers and all that stuff. And I thought that I would share my own experience, how I got over the fear of letting my kids go out on their own. Okay, so my neighbors, they know me. My neighbors, they used to make fun of me because they used to go, Shola always shields her kids. I'm always afraid to send my kids. And I tell you, it's a fear that I've had because, you know, as Nazo also said, you just hear about all this Amber Alert, about people just grabbing kids. And even now, sometimes I still have those fears because you see there's people trafficking young ladies, and my girls are young ladies now. They're not children anymore. But one thing is this: how did I get over that fear? I would say you don't get over the fear. Even when your kids are all grown. My kids are now 14 and 17, soon to be 18. My daughter is going to be 18 next month. And you don't get over that fear. You suppress the fear. As a Christian, I'm a Christian, so I always look at it this way, that, you know what? Even if I'm next to them, something bad can still happen to them. But because you believe in God, because you believe that overall it is God that actually takes care of them. Am I the one that wakes them up in the morning? Am I the one that puts breath in their mouth so that they can breathe? No, it is God. And I felt that as a parent, the more I sheltered my kids and not let them spread their wings, I'm actually doing them a disservice. And what does that mean? I'm not letting them make their mistake and learn from their mistake. I'm not letting them create this notion or this attitude of learning how to be preserve their life, you know, because I'm holding this camera. Because one thing is this: look at it this way. If at the right age, you just have to know what is the right age to allow your kids to do things on their own. Now, will I let a 3-year-old walk down the street? No. Will I let a 5-year-old walk down the street by herself to school? No. I just heard a story last week. I know they've just found the sister. There was I think 11-year-old girl that went missing. And then a little sister, I think a little sister was like 10 years old, went missing like a few days afterwards. They found the 10-year-old. I don't know if they found the 11-year-old. And they said, oh, the kids were walking home from school or something of that sort. And stuff like that just kind of gives me that little fear again. But overall, you just have to let them go. I've done a video earlier. If I can find the video, I'll link it up. You just have to let them go. Let them go on their own. Now, my kids, they've gone on field trips. They've gone on field trips that they were gone for like a week. And I had a mother. This was when my youngest daughter was in middle school. They're both in high school right now. And I had a mother who actually was afraid to let a child go on a field trip. It was I think it was like a couple of days field trip in another part of the state on their own. They were chaperoned, they had teachers and all that. And my daughter, because I mean, it was an opportunity, a great opportunity for this girl to go on this trip. It was a competition, which would be really good on her college application and all that jazz. So my daughter had to tell the girl, please call my mother and let your mom talk to my mother, because the girl really wanted to go. So our mom, who I've never, ever talked to before, contacted me and was like, oh, I'm so scared. Oh, I don't know what to do. And I said, you know what? I have to give her encouragement. I have to give her advice that, you know what? Just let your kids, just let her go. If it's that, telemarketers.
Jim Butterball, pastor of the Fellowship Bible Church. This message will take a minute and a half. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. We're not soliciting funds. But we want to tell you how you can have heaven and know it and cause true revival.
Okay. It's pastors that are calling. Pastors are also calling people now. Anyway, so what was I saying? I don't know who that church is, but anyway, so as I was saying, so the mother had to like call me, and I talked to the mom. I gave her encouragement, I gave her encouraging words, and yeah, so as you see, they made me lose my train of. But anyway, so overall the girl had a nice time. The mom felt good and that she actually took that plunge. So overall, if you're a parent that you're going through all this fear of letting your kids go, you have to find a way. It's hard, and finding a way to let go is per individual. I cannot tell you that, oh, use my own method and try to just let them go. My own method, coping method of letting them go on their own was, number one, I put this app on their page, on their phone. I've talked about this app so many times. The app is called Life 360. I've been using it for years. If you are an OG subscriber, you know I've talked about this app before. When my daughter traveled to Washington, D.C., I think she was, I want to say she was 12, 13 years old, about that age, and she traveled to Washington, D.C. And yeah, so that app has been a lifesaver. Also, one thing is that if I'm not at home, if they're coming home from school on the bus, I know when the bus drops them because I get an alert from the bus system. I know when they get in the house because I have an app, you know, I have the Ring, right, that I can see people. If you're coming into my house, I see when you're in the house. Even when you're in the house, I have CTV that I can see what's going on in the house. So having those things, those protocols in place actually helps to minimize my fears. Also, I'm a parent that I give my kids phone. My kids have had phone since they were pre-teenagers. Yes, I'm one of those parents. Don't come and hurt me, but I am one of those parents that give my kids phone earlier on. If you're not one of those parents, please do you. Please, 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 please do you. So my kids have had phones because their school is an hour, is far from me, and I need to know what they're doing. So when they're in school, I can tell you when they move from one class to the other class. I can go on my phone and say, oh, okay, she just moved. There was one time that the school called my Tolani, my second daughter, and the school called and the school said that she didn't come to school that day. I'm like, what do you mean she didn't come to school that day? I called the school. I was like, I just got a message saying she didn't come to our school the day, and they're like, oh yeah, we have that she's absent. I said, I said, I'm watching her right now. She's in this part of the building. They actually went to the part of the building and they saw her there. I said, you see now, my kid is there. They're like, oh, okay, sorry, we made a mistake. I'm like, I know my kids and this is it. And everything above all, having all these apps and all this stuff to be able to tell where your kids are, blah, blah, blah. Above all, pray for your children. Pray protection over your children. If you're someone that you believe in God, pray for protection. If you don't believe in God, I don't know. But for me and my household, we pray in the morning, we pray at night. During the day, I always tell my kids, if they're going to do a test, whatever, pray. So prayer also helps to relieve that fear. So I hope my video has helped a parent or two, even if it has helped one person, to just feel relaxed. Because when your kids are getting older, you will have to let them go. You will have to let them go. Even if they go to university. I mean, some kids, they'll say they want to go to university outside of, you know, their state, outside of wherever, far away. You cannot hold them down. I believe, trust me, if you are that parent that you decide to hold your child down, that your child from your house, they're not going to go anywhere, they have to report back. If you're that kind of parent, chai, it will come back and bite you. But anyway, with that being said, thank you so much for watching. My name is Shola, if you don't know, and I hope you watch our other videos and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye.
I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago.